So it looks like Dana White and the UFC, they're finally matchmaking for this UFC White House card that's happening this June. And everyone's been talking about this. Every single UFC fighter has been asking, please let me on the card, let me on the card, let me on the card, let me on the card. Like it's a once in a lifetime spectacle. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You're fighting at the White House in front of the president and in front of a bunch of billionaires and people who are on the list. Congratulations, guys. But if we're being honest, if the UFC actually puts on this White House event with the names that are floating around right now, it's only going to be okay, right? Like the only names that are floating around, you got Conor and Jon Jones, then you got all the other rest of the guys. Those are not reliable enough names to carry this card. Let me show you a fight that was leaked, supposedly, for the UFC White House card. This McGregor versus Colby Covington at the White House is not a White House once-in-a-lifetime level fight that you make. Okay, there's no storyline, there's no drama, there's no history between these guys. It's just two random white guys fighting at the White House. That's not enough. And then imagine if, okay, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. If you were to do this now, June 2026, when they were supposed to be fighting in 2024, 2023, now we know that Jon Jones has arthritis and needs a hip replacement, and Tom Aspinall cannot see. He's blind. He has one eye. Now we're going to get this fight, right? These aren't good enough fights for this. And so, you're going to tease it. You're showing these, we have these digital representations of what the crowd is going to look like. You have, a picture of Grant Dawson for some reason with the wrong name under him. AI is not taking over. Don't worry, guys. Somehow, we're not asking this question, how do we make this card actually feel historic? Because if you're making a White House card and it's truly a once-in-a-lifetime card, you're not going to cut it with just big names. Right? You need good matchmaking. You need high stakes. You need chaos. You need fights that feel like America versus the world without actually saying it. Right now, the rumored matchups, they're not hitting like that. So today, I'm going to be rebuilding the White House card from scratch, main event to prelims. And I promise you this, that when I'm done, there will not be a single fight on here that feels boring, that feels like, I'll walk to the next room. No, I am about to build for you the perfect card. Now we're going to start with the main event, which should be the main event. If you are an MMA fan, you know this is the main event. This is the fight. This is the once-in-a-lifetime fight that you can make. Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. This is the best fight, period, that you can make. Regardless of popularity, regardless of relevant, I don't care. This is the best fight, period. The problem is it gets less interesting the more time goes by. Right? Like, what if Islam fights Morales or Usman soon? And what if he doesn't look good when he fights them? Or what if Ilia Topuria, he fights Justin and he doesn't look good? What if Ilia fights Arman Tsarukyan before this and loses? Right? Ilia versus Islam can fall apart at any moment. That's why it's important to make these super fights when they are available. You make super fights when they are available. When both guys are in their prime, you make the fight. Now, the question is, does Islam move down or does Ilia move up? Islam's at 170, Ilia Topuria is at 155. Ilia Topuria, he can't just skip the line in front of all the people like Michael Morales, Ian Gary, JDM, Carlos Prates even. You can't let a 145-pound guy jump ahead of 170-pounders. It doesn't make sense. The smartest way to do this is catch weight. And catch weight brings a whole other aspect to this because then you're not wasting a super fight with no belt. You're adding in another belt, 165, the super lightweight belt. The White House card would be the perfect place to debut a 165-pound super lightweight belt. Islam versus Ilia Topuria. And then that way they are both fighting to be the first triple champ in UFC history. I know. Thank you very much. This was a genius idea by Flying Squirrel MMA. What two other fighters deserve it more than Ilia and Islam Makhachev to fight for their third belt at the UFC White House? It's perfect. This raises the stakes tremendously. It's something they both would go for. Only problem is who's going to want to fight the winner, right? You open up 165 division, you're going to lose half your welterweights, half your lightweights, two of the most stacked divisions. You're going to lose some potential awesome matchups. Anyways, this is never going to happen, but a man can wish, right? A man can dream. Y'all going to throw out your fantasy matches. I'm going to throw out my fantasy matches. Now, you're going to tell me who do I think wins? I think at 155, Ilia would win. I think at 170, Islam would win. So 165, dude, I have no idea. I have no freaking idea. That's what makes it so exciting. This is the fight. This is the freaking fight. Make it for a third belt. Winner is the first triple champ. That's amazing. That's freaking amazing, okay? Next fight, and don't blame me, man. I saw this one on Instagram, and I said, you know what? This ain't bad. Now, Alex Pereira has been wanting to fight heavyweight for some reason. Me personally, I like seeing somebody clear out a division. I would love if he just cleared out light heavyweight and became the light heavyweight GOAT. No, he wants to move up, fight it heavyweight. But you're not going to be dumb enough to match him with someone who's going to grapple with him, right? So you're going to give him the other kickboxer. You give him Tsarukyan. I still think this is a dumb idea. Alex Pereira, he walks around at 240 maybe after a big plate of feijoada and steak and tiramisu, right? Tsarukyan could fast for a week, run 10 miles, get in the sauna. He's still 250 pounds. He's all muscle, okay? This is a different weight classer. This is a different weight class. There's a different strength. These are different fighters. I don't think it's a good idea for him to move up. Everyone's like, oh, he's so big. He's not heavyweight big. Like, he's big for light heavyweight. He's big for 185. He's not heavyweight big. And so why are they fighting? They'd be fighting for the interim belt because, like I said, Tom Aspinall can't see. I can't see. Why are you laughing at me? I just want to know, what would it take? Now, how this fight would go, man, I think if they were to agree to strike, it would be competitive. Alex Pereira, he's going to have the lighter man skill. He's going to have the speed advantage. Maybe. Would he? Because he's fighting a crazy athletic Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan is going to have the power advantage, but will he? Because he's fighting like hands of stone Alex Poatan Pereira. So this is a really interesting fight if they agree to kickbox, if they agree to stay on the feet. Why would you agree to do that? Do you want to win or do you want to, dance and make a cool fight? I think both these guys want to win. So Alex Pereira is going to try to keep it on the feet. Tsarukyan is going to try to stink it up. I could see him trying to stink it up, roll for a stupid heel hook, and then just get stomped out. I think this is cool. I think Tsarukyan's a big enough name. He's not a blob. He's already in the title picture. Oh, also, this would be for the interim title since Tom Aspinall would be out. You could match him against Volkov, but I really think Volkov is too big for Alex Pereira, and he wouldn't even try to strike with Alex Pereira. He would just dive at his legs and turn it into a BJJ match and win. So this is the best possible match. All right, now for the Conor McGregor fight. Conor McGregor, the best person to match Conor McGregor up with is... Hey, what's up, dude? See me at the White House, dude. I'm faded at the White. They legalized weed yet, bro? Screw you, dude. Stockton, California in this house, bro. What's up, bro? Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 3. They're 1-1, bro. They're 1-1. They're both old. They're both washed. They're both retired. They both want to fight. They're both big names. They're both household UFC names. Casuals would know both of these guys. This is a guy that Conor McGregor could come back from this super long retirement and win. This is a guy that the trash talk would be good. This is a guy, it would be competitive. It's not like he's just going to automatically beat Nate Diaz. And it's not like Nate Diaz is just going to automatically choke out Conor McGregor. This is a good fight, man. This is just as good as it always has been. Just as competitive as it always has been because these guys are at the same level still in their careers. Conor looks like he's in better shape, but we know that doesn't mean anything. He could have an 8-pack and Nate Diaz will still take him to the third round fighting for his life. This also lets you bring back legends. That's the whole, John Anik can be like, 2 of these guys fighting for custody battle and drug charges and each other. Toyo Tire is the official tire of the UFC. Yeah, I think this is a perfect fight, man. It won't be for a belt, but that's okay. I know Conor, he always talks about, I want to fight Usman. I want to fight Ilia Topuria. You're not fighting for a belt, Conor, okay? We don't give out participation trophies. This is not youth soccer. There's no participation trophies, Conor. No belt for this fight. Congratulations, you win the fight. That's your reward, Conor McGregor. You win the fight. That's your reward, Nate Diaz. You're not the BMF part 2. No belt. You fight, you show up, you win, okay? That's your reward. Next fight. Also, guys, wanted to let y'all know, because I've been kicked off of Instagram twice now, I'm kicked off of Zuck's internet, so now I'm on Elon Musk's internet. And so you can follow me on Twitter or X or whatever it's called at FlyInSquirrel MMA. This is my actual account. I'll prove it because I just tweeted this. Or I X'd this or whatever. I don't, what the heck. But yeah, UFC White House card that doesn't suck video tonight. This is proof. This is my page. So go ahead, follow me. Don't get me freaking banned off here, or else you'll never see me freaking again on any other social media. I'll be so pissed off. Yeah, I'll see y'all. Follow me if you want. Like and subscribe if you want. Just a reminder, if we are fighting at the White House, we should probably have an American champion fight. And Joshua Van is an American champ. Joshua Van is an American champ. Joshua Van is an American champ. They're not going to give him any respect. I guarantee you, he probably won't even fight because he's a flyweight and he's not a white guy. And he's like South Asian, right? But he is, I think, the only American champ. So he should be fighting on the White House card. It only makes sense. But we know that how much disrespect the flyweights get, bro. Now, you're wondering why I have Pantoja on here. Pantoja is on Instagram, bro, doing pull-ups, doing push-ups. He took his cast off. He's doing everything he... Hey, look here. Meus braços são muito forte. He's like trying to do everything he can to prove he's ready to come back. Let's run it back. Do it at the White House. Why the White House? He's an American champ. Period. That's it. Period. Now we have one more fight on the main card for a belt because Ilia is moving up to 165. Now 155 is open, and I have a feeling that this fight will be open, man. I have a feeling that after Ilia Topuria sparks Justin Gaethje out cold this spring, that's going to open up some room for Paddy Pimblett and Arman Tsarukyan to settle their little beef. Hopefully, by this time, Arman Tsarukyan, his detention is over. They'll let him fight for the title. This will be for the interim lightweight title. Arman's going to be there. Paddy needs a win. Maybe if they do Paddy Pimblett versus Mauricio Rufy, I think Paddy Pimblett will probably beat him if he wrestles. Rufy could win, but I just can't see Mauricio Rufy fighting for a title. My mind just won't allow me to see Mauricio Rufy fighting for a title. But this sounds good. Arman versus Paddy sounds good. It promotes good. It greases the grooves, man. It fills the stomach. It scratches your back. These guys don't like each other. They're both young. They both have good grappling. Let's run this one. The striking's going to be entertaining. Let's run it. Interim championship. You get another chance, Paddy. You get another chance. So that's my main card. Now, to open up the prelims, I have a lot of options to open up the prelims. But you got to do seniority, right? You got to do the people who have actually been champion. And right here, this rematch. Run me this rematch. Islam, or what's my guy's name? Israel Adesanya. He's going to run through Joe Pyfer. Lord willing, he runs through If Joe Pyfer knocks out Izzy, I don't know. I'm not going to quit YouTube, but I might think about it. I might think about it, bro. I don't even know what I would do with myself. Izzy, he needs to get this one back. Sean Strickland, he needs to get one back. That is, if Sean Strickland loses to Fluffy, then this fight gets set up, which I could see that happening. But you never know. I still need to make my Fluffy versus Sean video. This fight, it has history. You got two former champions, two huge stars in the middleweight division. Everyone knows these guys. Everyone likes these guys. Or if you don't like one guy, then you like the other. I think this fight is perfect, man. And it will be entertaining. Will it? It won't be. Okay, let's go on to the next fight. This will be entertaining. Khalil Rountree versus Azamat Murzakanov. This is American versus Russian. Khalil Rountree has the most knockdowns in the light heavyweight division. He might have the most knockdowns in the UFC. I just saw the stat today. Murzakanov has 5 KOs and he's on a 6-fight win streak. Let's run this one, dude. I know it's Blob versus NFL player build. Okay, I know this guy looks like he's gonna ask, anyone bring any beers? You want me to run to the store? I'll bring a 6-pack. That's what Azamat Murzakanov looks like. But he's dangerous, bro. He's dangerous. Someone is gonna be going down on this fight. There will be blood. America versus Russia. I don't even know if Murzakanov is going to be allowed on the White House lawn. He probably won't be, but I feel like this fight would be awesome. They're close to each other in the rankings. They're both violent. They both like to bang. Khalil Rountree has Gene Silva tatted on his stomach for some reason. Let's run this one. All right, next fight. You gotta have. I'm Donald Trump's favorite fighter. Why does Derek Lewis sound like he's yawning? I'm Derek Lewis. You know, the way they be putting me up against these taxi drivers. Some taxi driver from Brazil. I don't know who the guy's name is. Shamil Gaziev. Man, bro, tell me this fight. This is a perfect fight. This is a perfect fight for the White House. Shamil Gaziev is ironically really popular in the heavyweight division. He's coming off a loss. Derek Lewis is coming off a loss against Waldo Cortez Acosta. This fight will put butts in seats. It'll, at least for me, this fight will put me in my seat because I really don't know who will win. I know Derek Lewis is going to knock him the heck out. Okay, I know that's going to happen. They're close to each other in the rankings now. They're both going on losses. Both big old boys. I'm Donald Trump's favorite fighter. My ball's going to be hot. It's not going to be about too hot. Up there at the White House, I'm going to have me a hotel room, knock my wife down 2 stores down from the White House. Great fight right here. Okay, now we had Colby Covington leaked that he was going to fight Conor McGregor, the dumbest fight I could ever think of. Here's the best fight I could think of for Colby Covington.
This is a certified...
Ian Gary, even though he's number 1 in line for the title, he said, anytime, any place, anywhere you match me up with Colby Covington, I'm fighting him. And I believe him, okay? Ian Gary, as annoying as he can be, bro, he loves to fight. He will take any fight, anytime, anywhere, any place. We got to respect him, bro. If King Kong made weight, he would freaking fight him. As annoying as Ian Gary is, I got to give him that credit. And this is going to be a fight where I would be going for Ian Gary. I would be in Ian Gary. I would be cheering for Ian Gary for the first time in my life, bro. Because the things that Colby Covington has said about Ian Gary's wife and will say about Ian Gary's wife, nobody likes Colby Covington. This will be the battle of the most unliked fighters in the UFC. This has to happen. This has to freaking happen. This will be a masterpiece. And even if Colby Covington wins, it'll be really entertaining because then you get to see Ian Gary lose. It's like a win-win, lose-lose, win-win. Like, this is a perfect fight right here. All right, next fight. All right, so here's what fight should happen.
What is that?
Right? Sean O'Malley, he called out Peter Yan, and he probably will get Peter Yan. But Peter Yan, he's supposed to fight Merab for the rematch. This is the next big fight, right? This is the fight where you fight against Umar, and then the winner gets the winner of Merab versus Peter Yan. But they're not going to do this at the White House. Why? Because Umar is going to beat him, and he's not going to beat him in an entertaining way. And even if Sean O'Malley beats Umar, he's not going to beat Umar in an entertaining way. So what do you do with Sean O'Malley? Instead, you give him an entertaining fight. You give the people what they want. You give the casuals what they want. So they're going to say, oh, that's Frank Ocean's boyfriend. He's a pretty good fighter. Oh, and he's fighting the guy with the clown hair. This right here is a casual's dream. It has to be on the prelims. It has to be the first when you click this on and say, oh, what is this? UFC? I've never seen this before. This is the fight you want the casuals to be watching right here because they're going to kind of know who the guys are, and it's going to be entertaining. Payton Talbot brings it, and he could bring it, and he could, beat the crap out of Sean O'Malley. There's a chance. This fight will be so good. And if Payton Talbot gets whooped and we get a Sean O'Malley masterclass, there's few things in the UFC that are better than watching a Sean O'Malley masterclass. Sean O'Malley masterclasses are like watching an eclipse or like watching the Northern Lights. They are so freaking entertaining. I know this fight makes no sense, but it's entertaining and it'll get people going, okay? It gets the people going. All right, next fight, you got to have Joe Pyfer on the White House card. I say give him Paulo Costa, bro.
I disapprove 100%.
And it's good for the storyline, right? Because he's about to fight Izzy. So after you fight Izzy, you fight Paulo Costa. After Izzy sparks you out, you fight Paulo Costa. Now this build-up, Paulo Costa is going to be bothering him, teasing him, making fun of him. He's going to rage bait him, and it's going to work. If you are rage baiting, this is a guy, it's like trying to fish. It's like trying to fish for bass when they're spawning with live bait. 100% success rate, okay? You're trying to rage bait Joe Pyfer, it's going to work. And Joe Pyfer is going to get mad, and he's going to say some racist stuff, and it's going to make the fight even bigger. This is going to build itself. You see these fights, they just make themselves, right? The trash talk on this. The trash talk on this. The trash talk on this. Guys, the trash talk on this. The trash talk on this. All of it, it's going to be so much trash talk. We're going to need 5 press conferences. And I genuinely don't know who would win between these guys because Paulo Costa could beat anyone on earth if he's locked in, but he hasn't been locked in since 2019. So it's a hit or miss. It's also a hit or miss if he's even going to show up. I think he's pulled out of like 4 or 5 fights. Now, Joe Pyfer, he also has the ability to knock out anybody on earth. So this is a really exciting fight. Really cool matchup I'm excited about. 2 more fights left. We got 2 more guys that we got to put on here. Michael Chandler, of course, he's fighting, right? He has to fight on the White House card. Put him against Edson Barboza. They're both old guys. They're both worn out. Both kind of give off the same I sit in the ice bath, I eat liver type of vibe, right? Match them up. They're both 155. It's a fight that Michael Chandler could win. It's a fight that if Edson Barboza wins, he wins it in spectacular fashion. It looks good. I like it, man. It's sad to see Mike Chandler down here at the very bottom of the prelims, but it's all good, man. He should be fighting Conor McGregor. I still think he should fight Conor McGregor. He deserves it. He was promised to him for 4 freaking years. He deserves it, but for the most part, give him a fight that he can win. You know, let's stop giving him the crazy hard fights. Give him a fight he can win. Edging Barboza is a little better. And then last but not least, we got Bo Nickel. Now, who would you match Bo Nickel up against? I think Bo Nickel versus Kevin Holland will be a good fight. They're both American. Hey, black people are American too. Black people are American too. They're both American. They both love Donald Trump. They both, I think they both fight 185, 170. I forget where Kevin Holland is right now. I think he's at 180. I forget where he's at. But I think this would be a really interesting fight. Kevin Holland can beat anybody. He's tricky, man. He's off and on all the time. But Bo Nickel has that wrestling pedigree where he could probably take down Kevin Holland and choke him out easy. But then at the same time, you don't know because Kevin Holland has some tricks up his sleeve where he's fought wrestlers. He's fought guys who were supposed to out wrestle him and beat him, and they don't. And he just knocks them the heck out. So this would be really interesting. The trash talk on this would be good too. You know? So let me know what you guys think. This is my White House card. This is my first time building a card. I usually don't do like potential matchups like this just because it's hard for me to remember like names and records and all that. But this is my shot at it. Y'all want a baby update? What is he? He's 5 weeks old as of today. And I think I've mentioned this before, but he's crying now. There's the gastrocolic reflex right now that basically when a baby is about a month old, once they drink their milk, it signals to their body to poop immediately. And that is the gastrocolic reflex. And that can be uncomfortable for babies. And because they don't know how to digest, they don't know how to poop, they don't know how to push out a burp or a fart or a turd. So it's just all happening. And it's made feeding a little harder. You know, you feed him and then he's crying and then he burps. Or you feed him and he's like, and then he farts. A lot of crying. I was supposed to make a video a couple days ago, but he literally cried for 4 hours. But we're getting the burp. I think I got a good system down where I either walk around and pat him on the back, or I have a yoga ball. If I don't want to walk around, I just I'll bounce on the yoga ball. I know it sounds real fruity, okay? But you can't be fruity and impregnate your wife and have a kid, right? So in a very masculine way, I bounce on my yoga ball. On a very masculine way, I bounce on my yoga ball until my son falls asleep. And then I put him in his little bouncer. And then that'll give me some free time. Anyways, that's my baby update. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to like and subscribe. I will see you guys later. Peace.